All right, we are going live on YouTube. This is the On the Hunt podcast, episode 49. I'm Elijah Winfrey. Joining me on tonight's show, we have got the number one Lions fan, Mr. Bobby Bless. We've got Reggie Funches. We've got Nate Rucker. If you're keeping track at home, that means we got a full house. So we are ready to talk some Lions football. Before we do, though, I do want to go around the room here and see where everybody's at. So we'll start off with the number one Lions fan, Bobby Bless. Bobby, your day job is taking a lot out of you, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that. But, hey, go Lions. We look like we got a winning team. I be hearing our name on TV all day. At least once or two times a day, I hear somebody say, "What about the Lions?" So times are good. Times are good. We headed in the right direction. And J-Mo back. I know that's one of our topics. It got to be. It's the hottest topic right now for the Lions. But I'm glad. It seems like the football guys, like my boy Nate always say, is on a line with us right now.
All right. Hey, let's toss it over to Nate Rucker. Nate, I know you weren't with us last week, my friend. How you feeling?
I am A.O. copaceto, especially when you sick, feel like you're on your deathbed with COVID, and you trying to cheer touchdowns like this.
That's too funny.
But I am good. Hey, in the words of Jon Snow, we are the kings of the North, which we already knew. We put a shellacking on them Packers. Hey, Brenda, how you love them apples?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Reggie, how's it going, my friend?
I'm hiding right now. I don't want them Brenda problems.
Me either.
He's not about that action, boss. Anyway.
Remember the first time I ever said something to Brenda in a message?
Hey,
you didn't see all the shenanigans Brenda was putting on the page.
Oh, yeah. I remember now.
She was talking mad junk, too.
Let's get started with a recap. We're going to go first to Reggie Funches. Reggie, recap this Packers beatdown for us, because I know that you were excited and your predictions came true within the first 5 minutes of the pregame show. So go ahead.
That was hilarious, man. I did say that they was gonna have 4 sacks in the game. They ended up having 4 sacks in the first half. So I don't even know what to do with that. I did say it was 33-21.
I think so. You were close. On the final.
Yeah, so about as close as you can get without going, without falling under. But really, to tell you the truth, man, the biggest story to me, outside of the defense, was, first of all, we didn't know how well Montgomery was going to play coming off the injury. Like, it was one of the things where, okay, they're going to ease him back in, or let Gibbs get some more carries, and then let him kind of figure his way out. Man, they ran that boy like the definition of a bell cow. That was the definition of it. He actually made Gibbs take a back seat. I was not expecting that. Not expecting that at all. And, the great thing about it, 16 games last year with Chicago, he had 5 touchdowns total. And we're game what?
4, 5 now.
Going into game 5.
Game 4. We're going into game 5. He already got 5 touchdowns already. So anybody that was talking all the mess about Jamal and all this other stuff. And he missed the game. So that just shows you, how good of a runner he is.
I told people.
Don't sleep on him. But
I told people.
But really, man, that defense, Dan Campbell said he challenged his boys and they showed up. And then, mind you, this is with us missing key pieces on the defense, man. It's just a beautiful thing to see. So, this is a lot of people calling it a trap game. Being in Lambeau, coming off that win that we had last year, and then the Packers were playing well. I'm trying to show people that wasn't necessarily the case. If you paid attention to the games they played, they really didn't do much. They beat who they were supposed to beat, and they came back on Atlanta. They was actually supposed to lose that game. So
He came back on Atlanta.
I'm never gonna trip
and they
over a
came
thorough
back on the
beat.
Saints.
Yeah, they came back on the Saints too. So I'll roll with it.
So before we go to our next person, want to welcome the folks who are watching on YouTube. Because of you at home, we were able to hit 450 subscribers. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who has tuned into the program. This is episode 49, by the way. So we are one away from episode 50, which is crazy to think about. But we want to thank you again at home for making sure that, we've had success with this show and all of our other shows on the Elijah Winfrey Studios YouTube channel. So thank you. We appreciate it. Tonight, leave those comments for us. We'll read those comments off about the halfway point through the show, if not sooner, because I know Nate likes to see the different comments that are on the screen. But leave those comments for us. Let us know you're watching.
We have to
Like that
read
video.
them or it's going to be fight night.
That's right. That's right. But again, make sure to leave those comments, like this video, and hit that subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. Packers analysis. Bobby Bless, what you got for us?
Man, that game is one of the few games that I watch where it was a different guy showing up. It was like a collective overhaul, especially in the first half. The second half, I'm not gonna really get into so much. Some people say we let off the gas brake, but I was more so let them kill themselves because they wasn't really trying to take shots. They was just dinking and dunking down the field, killing the clock. So I wasn't that ever worried that the game was not in our hands. But it's just one of the games where I see a lot of different guys actually show up, especially on that defensive line. I seen Kaminsky. I see Linton. I seen our boy Aiden. I seen Branch. I seen Jerry Jacobs. You know what I mean? It just was a collective. It was honestly, I think it was the best first half of football I ever seen with the Detroit Lions. I can't really remember the Barry Sanders days or nothing like that. I remember somewhat, but not like I should. It damn sure ain't happened within my me reaching the age where you're legally allowed to drink. So it's interesting to see that we actually had a whole collective game where it wasn't just one guy. And even on offense, me and Elijah, Elijah and Reggie, we had our little pregame show and whatnot. But my thing was Reggie was alluding to, that maybe he was gonna be in third down, just special situations. Mm-hmm. And then make a long story short though, it showcased our rookies. You know what I mean? Everybody is starting to speak on how there were a lot of question marks on why we drafted this guy, why we drafted that guy. But when you seen that little the little montage they put on the screen with our rookies all on the all there, I was looking like those some pretty solid rookies we got, especially with Laporta. Every time every play, every game, he just impressed me that much better. It's just, to me, I think it's just irony that Sam Laporta is everything that was sold with TJ Hawkinson in the draft. It's just amazing. Like, we got the wrong guy from Iowa type thing, and then and last but certainly not least, the damn camaraderie. Mm-hmm. And I do all the videos for the On the Hunt podcast page and whatnot. And I seen a comment on there. I think it might have been my brother Malcolm, or I can't remember who said it, but he was saying, look how happy they are for each other making the play. It wasn't my play, but he made it. Yes, they celebrate like that same person made the play. So they are a tight collective unit, and that's definitely the best team in the NFC North. So I was happy to say that.
You know what though? It was one other thing that was impressive to me though. So when SOR started with the same old refs,
Right.
we didn't turn it to the SOL. Same
Right.
old line.
Hey,
We
so,
kept our foot on them.
Like, because I sent a message as soon as it started happening. I was like, dog, I can't stand it when referees steal momentum. I can't stand it, dog. Like, it was 3 straight horrible.
Remember,
flags.
I've told you that.
3 straight horrible flags, and yet they still end up gutting the game out. So that's one thing I appreciate about that.
you know, Reggie, it's funny that you bring up SOR because sometimes when you're in a game with the same old refs, SOR, it can leave you feeling sore after the game. Anyway, so let's go to my analysis of this Green Bay Packers game. Reggie is still with us, by the way, but he had to turn his camera off for a second. So if you ever see one drop off the face of the earth, it's because our camera was off. But anyway, so my thoughts on this game. Listen, I watch every Lions game with my wife, Cassandra, and I looked at her quite a bit during this, first half of the game. And I looked at her kind of going, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Because that's kind of how I felt. Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? Because I've seen the Lions in the past get a big lead on the Packers, only to then give it up. And so that first half was just utter dominance, and I was very happy to see that from our Detroit Lions. I was very happy for David Montgomery too, and I don't feel like I need to say this, but I'll say this anyway. I am rooting for David Montgomery just as hard as I'm rooting for Jahmyr Gibbs. I know I'm a Gibbs guy and everything, but to me, I feel like David Montgomery is obviously a really good running back, but he's also doing everything that he can to bring along Jahmyr Gibbs as a professional athlete in his first season there. So I love that. And Jahmyr Gibbs has even gone on record saying that David Montgomery is like a big brother to him. So I love that for our team. I didn't really mind the fact that Gibbs wasn't used as much because there wasn't any reason to try to use him. Montgomery was doing everything that needed to be done. So for me, I was fine with it. I love the victory. And I'm happy that we, lived up to the hype, because there was a lot of people that was questioning it, saying, are we going to live up to the hype, or is this the same old Lions? And I think we finally put that to bed. So I do want to toss it over to Nate Rucker. Nate Rucker, that defense was something else against the Packers. Would you agree?
Man, listen, we haven't had a defense to really, really be proud of in a while. Especially with people calling for Aaron Glenn's head, after the loss against Seattle. Again, I say it all the time. Lions fans, we suffer from PTSD and we are emotional commenters. Like, nobody said in any shape or form, regardless how much we were favored, how many odds we were to win the North, to win the Super Bowl, to get to the playoffs, whatever. Not once was it ever said that we would go 20-0. And again, this is the NFL. Everybody plays. Everybody's playing for their check. Everybody's paying to feed their family. Everybody's playing for something, whether it being, whether it's statistical, whether it's for their lineage, whether, whatever drives them. Everybody's playing. So nothing's ever going to go according to plan. Mm-hmm. It just is what it is. That's why they came out the movie. Any given Sunday, any team can win.
Right.
It happens. The Pats went, they had a perfect season and then they were out of there. It happens. You know what I mean? So I get it that Lions fans, us as Lions fans, we haven't had much to cheer about. It's been going on 30 years, where we've won a playoff game. Mm-hmm. So, I understand it. But at the same time, this is why I try to be the voice of reason. And when I tell people to relax, stay calm, like, believe me, relax, stay calm. Like, shit's going to be okay. Right now, this defense, like you say, top 5, man. We are 5 yards away statistically from being the number 1 rush defense in the league when it comes to yards allowed. So, we know we're 5 yards out. And to me, that's saying a lot, especially when coming into the season, that was one of everybody's biggest concerns was the rush defense.
Right.
And we haven't heard that. Then it went to the sacks. Hey, in 2 games, fuck, it's like we're playing Tecmo Bowl. you know, so that top 5 defense led by our second-year guy in Aiden Hutchinson, who doesn't have the sack numbers right now due to SORs, but he still actually leads the league in total quarterback pressures.
Nice.
Which is amazing for a second-year guy. They're already talking about him in early on with Defensive Player of the Year candidacy. You know, his relentless motor and just the way that he goes after it. So that's good. And defense-wise, I think we get Mosley back this week, which is huge. Brian Branch did not practice, but he has not been ruled out.
Yeah, man.
And so, I mean, it's still good. They haven't said anything else about Kirby Joseph either. So, top 5 defense. Let's keep
Kirby
it going.
Joseph practice. Kirby Joseph practice. He practiced.
No, he didn't today.
No, I thought I seen he did.
Oh, did he? I might
Yeah.
look this up. Oh, well, I know Branch didn't practice. St. Brown didn't practice. And he did. So St. Brown, Kabinda, and Branch.
I got it right. I got it right here. Did practice Mosley, Kirby Joseph.
Yep.
Vitae practice. I didn't know that. Vector, Montgomery, Okora, and Jameson. Did not practice Amaran and Kabinda.
Good job.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And just a reminder here, folks, again, to like, comment, and subscribe. We got a bunch of people watching right now, but we're looking for those comments. So make sure you get those comments. Nate, you had something?
I'm sorry. I got the cherry sours in my mouth. My bad. Yeah, but no, what I wanted to say was, it was going back to what Bobby and Reggie said about the refs. If people remember, I told people last year that the moment the team started to win in spite of, that's when you know the culture has changed. Like, I seen people really, really mad. Like, why Dan Campbell ain't mad? The clock expired, time expired, blah, blah, blah. Because, guess what? He understands it's a non-reviewable play. There's no point in me wasting energy and being mad at something that I cannot change. So guess what? We gonna hit the locker room and we still got a double-digit lead. So I'm not finna waste energy and fight these referees over a play that they missed when we are totally dominating these guys. So that's where fans and stuff got to realize, like, hey, every action isn't needed. Sometimes it's better just to let things roll out, play out, and just be smooth. So big ups to Dan Campbell and the way he coaches.
So
Eli.
I gotta say, like, I agree with everything Nate just said. I know I was one of the people saying, "Where's the pass rush?" So I have gotten everything I asked for and more. I mean, I would have been happy with just 1 sack a game, and they went out and they outdid themselves. But I think the point that I want to make to Lions fans is: it safe to assume, and I already know my answer on this, but is it safe to assume we got it wrong with Aaron Glenn? Because I know going into the season, everybody and their brother was talking about how Ben Johnson this, Ben Johnson that. And I'm not saying that he hasn't earned that, because he certainly did some interesting things on offense. But is it about time that we all say, I'm sorry, Aaron Glenn, you can coach your ass off too? Because the last 2 weeks, that's all I've been seeing. I've been seeing a defense that every time we sputter on offense, saves our bacon. And so I'm just wondering, at what point do we give Aaron Glenn his flowers and we start thinking about the fact that we might have not one, but two coordinators interviewing for head coaching jobs being serious candidates moving forward. Let me ask Bobby first. Bobby, what do you think?
I'm not there yet because the competition we played ain't really no world beaters yet. So I'm just saying, I'm just glad I'm just glad he ain't hot no more right now. So I'll at least say that. But and it just falls back to you guys, especially our resident defensive coordinator Nate. He said once we get that one guy for that's the hybrid linebacker safety guy, we'll see the changes in this defense. And between mostly Brian Branch and some of Gardner Johnson, I have seen that, and that is the major difference to me. Is that guy that because he's almost like the queen on the chessboard. He moving, he everywhere. So I like that guy, and I think that's Brian Branch for us right now. So I'm actually seeing what you guys were beating into us. What was our defense?
4-2-5.
4-2-5.
Yeah. So I'm doing all that watching all that all 21 all 22 film. That's what we running. That's all I see all game, is the four down men, two linebackers. So it's working, and I'm presently surprised, but I want to see us play some better teams. And I don't know if you guys know, we got flex to 425 on the what was it, the 15th or the 19th? I can't remember. I think it might have been the 15th. But we got flex to 425. So, and believe it or not, your guy Baker Mayfield and them, they're running a pretty good offense right now. So I want to see that. I want to see them stop that. So that's going to be mine, because nothing against Bryce Young and the Panthers. He had that. No, I'm not going to apologize to Aaron Glenn yet. But I would say, do your thing, boy. I like where you're going.
So just real quick, I want to throw this out there. Again, I'm going to talk about some New York high school teams because that's what I cover with my day job. But I want to throw this example out, and I want Reggie and Nate to kind of give me some thoughts on this example I'm putting out there. So about, we'll call it 60, we'll say about 30 miles south of me. Okay, so I'm in Messina, which is like 5 minutes from Canada, as we've discussed before. About 30 miles south of me is a team called Governor. They're the Governor Wildcats. And what cracks me up about the Governor Wildcats is they're like a South Georgia team. Again, I'm in New York. What I mean by that is in South Georgia on Friday nights, there is nothing else to do other than go to your game. Okay. It's not like Atlanta where people got options. Okay. So they live and breathe football down there in the deep south of Georgia. And Governor, even though they're an upstate New York team, they remind me a lot of those deep south Georgia schools with the way that they're all in on football. In fact, they actually play their football games at the fairgrounds, which is kind of funny to me. So one of the things that's been interesting is this year on their squad, they have 19 seniors. And so far this season, they have been blowing everybody out. And it's not the offense that impresses me, it's the defense, because through 4 games, they've only allowed a grand total of 50 points. And the point that I want to make is those coaches down there in Governor, they're so excited because they've had these kids since youth football. And they've been waiting for that moment when the light clicks on in their senior season. And so my question is for Reggie and Nate, we'll start with Reggie. I kind of view our defense a little bit like that. We've been waiting for that light to kick on because we have so many young, talented professionals. We're just waiting for it all to come together. And I think in the last 2 weeks that happened. Would you agree with my kind of idea there? And I'm going to ask the same question that I asked Bobby. Are you ready to say, hey, Aaron Glenn, you can coach your ass off too?
So it's 2 things. I said before the season started, if Aaron Glenn can get this defense to be top 15 and the offense stays around where they were last year, we can be dangerous. Right now, we're top 5 in defense. Nobody thought we would be at that spot. 2, The other thing I said a couple weeks ago after we did not get any sacks, and it was looking like we got issues on the defensive end. I said, we got one genius on the offensive side. Where's our genius on the defensive side? Maybe it's not that we need a genius. Maybe it's what you just talked about. Maybe it's just they're finally starting to get it. They're getting comfortable in their position. They have this mentality of next man up. So if somebody's dropping out, somebody gets hurt, we're not about to sit up here and just allow these dudes to run over us. No, we got the next guy up, and he's going to produce, and we're going to maintain status quo. And that's what you want out of a Dan Campbell coach team. That's what you want out of an Aaron Glenn coach defense. Don't let these dudes do what they want to do to us just because we missing a few pieces. No, everybody got a job to do. So that goes back to Brad Holmes and getting talent on his team, developing depth, making it to where, yeah, this dude went out. Should we sat Bugs for how many games?
Mm-hmm.
And he came back hungry.
And he comes in and he comes in and he's productive.
He got to it too. He sure
Kaminsky didn't show up for a couple of games.
Yep.
Next thing you know, Kaminsky showing out. That's it. Yeah. Kaminsky shows up. It just makes Hutchinson's job that much easier. Really, it's anybody. Aleem McNeil. We talked about who's going to be the guy on the other side of Hutchinson that's going to start putting pressure on. Right now, it could be anybody. And that's the way you want the defense to be. And when I think about the Baltimore defenses and the Pittsburgh defenses, really Pittsburgh had dudes that you had never heard about at linebacker and on the line, but they just show up every week.
Didn't damn near their whole draft go to the Hall of Fame one, like if I'm not mistaken?
And this is what we're talking like. You have to. This is where it starts. And it starts with teams that ain't world beaters. Yeah, beat the brakes off the dudes you're supposed to. Hold them to where they not scoring on you. Get your confidence up. Then you go into those games against the Bills or whoever, and you're not scared of them. We weren't scared of them last year.
Right.
That's a part of getting your confidence up. So now we're getting to the point now, dog, like this team has the potential to be scary. We starting to get healthy now. Kirby coming back. Mosey gets a chance probably to play this week. It's ugly, bro.
Nate, your thoughts on what I said, what Reggie said, and just Aaron Glenn in general. Are you ready to give that man some flowers?
Well, remember, I mean, I never felt Aaron Glenn was a problem in the first place.
Right.
Neither was Aubrey Pleasant. I think that it just always had to be is that the fact that we had one of the youngest defenses in the league. And again, when you're a Lions fan, the rope for success, the rope for some type of something to cheer about is very, very short. They don't believe in, okay, let's give these guys time to grow. Let's give these guys time to understand the defense. They need to produce now. That's it. There's no rookie season. There's no rookie wall. There's none of that. You need to produce now or we want you fired. Again, thank God that most of these fans don't know what the hell they're talking about and that they don't have any part in the Lions. Because truthfully, we wouldn't have a team at all. Most of these guys can't coach a damn peewee team. But they seem to know what's best for the Lions. That's just the way fans are. Right. But, I mean, when you look at, again, what the defense does, people also forget that we've got injuries along that defensive line. You know, Kaminsky's he was banged up, but he finally played. Bugs have been in and out of the lineup. Benito Jones did a very good job filling in for him. You're still missing Pascal.
His outfit was cold. Cold outfit. I love that outfit. Wow.
The damn Farmer Jack overalls. It looked like something Elijah got in his pocket.
Hey.
But you know, Pascal being out, James Houston being out, you're still without another pass rusher who got activated today, and Julian Oguara. His brother Romeo has been up and down. So it's that. But when you look at the bad, you have to look at the good, and you look at the growth. You look at the outstanding play that Anzalone has put in as of late, whether it's been in coverage, whether it has been running down the flat, hitting running backs coming across the middle.
Amen.
Anzalone,
Amen, Nate. Hey, and I was, like I said, I've been doing I've been watching the game 3, 4, 5 times.
yeah.
But I was told Anzalone was a lot of stuff that don't show up on that damn film. And
and that's what he is, because he's the coach. And this is where a lot of people, like I say, this is why a lot of guys, I'm glad that they're not or have nothing to do with the Lions organization. You're just a fan, because everything isn't magnified by numbers. Your numbers don't tell you the true story. Mm-hmm. Number one, when you're a veteran and I'm in this defense, this is what people don't understand. He's responsible for him and the guy that he's next to, because he has to make sure that he's in his right spot. He has to communicate to him. Like one of the things that Ray Lewis talked about, literally post-snap, he talked about, or pre-snap, he talked about communication. When you got a guy running in motion, Anzalone has to communicate all this. Okay, he going in motion. So Derek, you get him. I'm gonna take the tight end, blah, 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 blah. Branch, instead of you shooting, you gonna drop. Like it's a lot of communication, it's a lot of verbiage. And all that's on Anzalone's head. So that's good. And what you see is the growth of Derek Barnes, who now is enjoying what he wasn't able to do last year, which was rush the passer. He's rushing the passer. He's actually been good in his coverage. So now he's given the reason why Rodrigo is on the sideline and just on special teams. He's finally getting it. He's finally understanding. So the only downside to me is Tracy Walker's got 3 dropped interceptions.
Yeah. He's dropping them bad too. Man.
Now, I mean, if that was Charlie Garner-Johnson, I think those are 3 turnovers. But even with those drops, we did not give up any points. So to me, that's still huge.
And still a PBU.
Yeah. It's definitely still a PBU, hands down. Without question. So,
hey, Nate, talking that talk, you're gonna fall out with the calculator community again.
Hey, listen. Hey, them calculator boys know I don't care, because all of them talk about Jerry Jacobs and he the worst worst cornerback in the league. And I just listen to people. And Bobby, I give them hell, because again, y'all post so emotional. You're not looking at, number one, it doesn't matter what cornerback you are. Guess what? You are not chasing a wide receiver across this field 8-9 seconds. So if your defensive line isn't generating any pressure, all corners are going to look bad. But when you have a line that's generating pressure, guess what? You don't have to get the sack. Truly, the pressure is worse than the sack, because you gonna get that turnover and you're gonna get that quarterback happy feet. So he's going to get rid of that ball a lot sooner. And guess what? Here come these interceptions, gift wrap interceptions, all to the guy that everybody talks shit about. He don't need to be on the team, and he need to hurry up back so we ain't got to use him. I'm looking like, dog. He playing as hard as he can. One guy called him Bobby. He called him Nevin Lawson.
Oh man!
No.
Oh, man.
That's the dude that never turned his head, right?
Never turned his head, but had a lot of tackles. And I say, nah, it's a difference. Jacobs turns his head, but he's running for a longer period of time. Yeah. Like, it's not the same thing, and then his pass interference again. You're going to get that. If I'm running from one side of the field to the other, and ain't nobody ain't made this quarterback move, dog, I'm weaving through traffic. Stuff's going to happen.
So I have a question, and then we'll talk about Derek Barnes, because I know that Nate wants to talk about Derek Barnes. But my question is, I know that the transfer portal in college gets a lot of negative talk. But one of the things that I've noticed about the transfer portal is that it gives kids an opportunity to finally show what they're trying to show. in college football without sitting on the bench for their entire career, being relegated to a spot starter here or there. And I kind of feel like Anzalone is a good example, and he's not the only example, but I feel like he's a good example of somebody who probably could have stayed with the Saints for his entire career, being a spot starter, a contributor here and there. And I feel like that would have been a shame because he has come on with the Lions and become a huge leader. And it's just interesting to me because I know every year during free agency, we always look at those big fish targets, you know, the people who have already been a starter on another team. But Brad Holmes saw something, and Dan Campbell saw something, and Aaron Glenn and Anzalone to say, look, I know he hasn't been a full-time starter for New Orleans, but let's bring him into Detroit and we can make him a full-time starter. And I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on that, if you agree with me on that, because I feel like he could have been somebody that we never really heard about throughout his entire career. But now he's the guy who is the one with the green dot on his helmet. Nate, what do you think?
Well, when I look at the linebacker, there's only one linebacker that's even still there when he was there, and that's Demario Davis. Everybody else is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of those linebackers are there. They're all gone. You know, some of they didn't get signed, didn't get past their rookie deal. They were traded. None, they weren't extended. That's just the life in the NFL. So when I look at Anzalone, again, he's never been the greatest linebacker in coverage. He's never been the fastest. He's never been the knockout linebacker that everybody fears.
Mm-hmm.
But what you will do is respect his gangster. That's it. Like you say, hey, Gator don't play no shit. Dog, you're not finna sit here and just think you just gonna catch the ball in front of me and I'm not gonna chop you down or I'm not gonna lay the wood to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So along with that, he's helping these young guys to come along and be ready for that next man up. Our knock on Rodrigo was he was on the smaller side. Played hard, did everything, but he was just on the smaller side. And I was always high on Derek Barnes, and he's finally showing what he could do. So
tell us a little bit about that, because I know that was somebody that you really wanted to talk about.
Well, because a lot of times I don't think people really understand Purdue's defense.
Okay.
Purdue actually ran a similar defense to your Georgia Tech guys.
Yep.
To the defense that we running now, which is the 4-2-5. Purdue ran it, which is, actually what got Derek Barnes drafted so high.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy he's not, same thing with Anzalone. He's not going to be the fastest guy. He's not going to be a linebacker that's going to run 4-3, do none of that. But you will respect his gangster. Plain and simple. He's going to play hard. It's that old adage, where I say hard work only beat talent when talent don't work hard.
True.
And you've seen it with Rodrigo came in as a rookie and was instantly starting. Kelvin Shepard said, hey, give me a reason not to play this guy.
Right.
I don't want to play him as a rookie. Give me a reason. Nobody could. But you come into this year, everybody's like, wait, where's Rodrigo? Because now the talent is working just as hard as the hard-working guy.
Right.
He's understanding the plays are slowing down. So he's processing things a lot differently. And that's a damn big get up to Derek Barnes, to Brad Holmes not giving up on him.
Mm-hmm.
To where you say, okay, this guy's going to be something. He's got something in him. We just need for that light to come on. And when that light has came on, I mean, shooting the gap, knocking running backs out, forcing incompletions over the middle, getting quarterback pressure. That's what you want. So this is big kudos to Derek Barnes, man. Stay true to the process.
I have to agree. You know, I haven't been paying that much attention to Derek Barnes, so I think that'll be a player that I pay attention to a little bit more coming up this weekend. We do want to talk about David Montgomery a little bit before we get into our returning offensive player.
Can I comment on Anzalone and Barnes?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Bobby.
As far as Anzalone, man, like I said, they lied on the man. He ain't as bad as they tried to make him out to be.
Nope.
I feel like he, as far as among all the linebackers, I feel he is the one that can get out of blocks quicker, and that alone helps him be in the spot. And as far as Derek Barnes, I think his full understanding of the defense is showing, because he is anticipating way better than he was. He is beating guys to the spot, and that alone, he's like, how can I explain it? Like, he believe in, like, what he know, believe in it, and he going for what he believe. You know what I mean? And it's just showing out as far as IQ. And I did not know Anzalone was like under 30. The way he was talked about, I thought he was over 30. He ain't even 30 yet. So don't get rid of him yet. He's well like the main catalyst to this defense, especially if he got the green dot on there, because he's putting people out there in positions where they can just fly around and do them. So that's I don't, if it like they always say, Elijah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, kind of thing, brother.
Right.
So,
and you know, and that's kind of the point I was making with Anzalone, was just that, you know, for me, I look at it and I go, what would have happened if he never came to Detroit? You know, because he probably would have went somewhere else and would have been maybe a spot starter here and there. And yet now he gets to realize his full potential. And I think
he
that
can showcase what he can do. Yeah.
Right. And I think that's going to bode well in the future for free agency for Brad Holmes, because he's shown that, and free agents know that I can go to Detroit and actually revitalize my career if maybe I've had a couple of bad seasons, or if I've been pretty good but I haven't been given that opportunity yet, I can actually go to Detroit and get my opportunity. And as long as I make the most of it, now we're talking about something. And I feel like Anzalone has made the most of his opportunity here in Detroit. And that's kind of the point I was making, was he would have been one of those undiscovered gems that would continue to go undiscovered in somewhere, you know, in some other place. But here in Detroit, he was forced into action, and he's gotten to show what he could do with it. So that was the point I was trying to make with that. Looks like we do have Warhammer tuning in. He says, what's up on the hunt and the rest of my peoples? Hey, we are doing very well. Thank you for leaving a comment. Everybody else, do what that commenter just did. Okay, leave a comment for us. We greatly appreciate it. I do want to remind folks again, like, comment, and subscribe. We're at 450 subscribers. And oh, by the way, Nate is actually modeling tonight one of our On the Hunt t-shirts. So Nate, can you show the folks your t-shirt?
Why, thank you, madam.
There you go. Made by
Nice.
Pay attention to the broad shoulders, y'all. Hey, listen, the shoulders don't come with the t-shirt. So if you don't have the physique, it might not fill out the way I do. But it's okay. You can still get you a t-shirt.
Sir, put them guns away. I'm a Democrat. Anyway, so
you stupid as hell, right?
Lord, anyway, we got those on the Hunt t-shirts. You can find them in the Elijah Winfrey Studio store, as well as many, many other merchandise items from our Licorice Pizza show, which, hey, by the way, do you like music? I feel like most of us like music. If you do, check out the Licorice Pizza podcast. It's right here on our YouTube channel.
Let's go, Donnie.
Latest episode was about Jimi Hendrix. It was a great episode. Basically what Donnie does, he takes an artist, he goes through their career, tells you what he likes, what he doesn't like, and some of the underrated stuff that an artist might have done that maybe didn't chart but was still very good. Check it out, Licorice Pizza Podcast, right here on our channel. And this week's episode, like I said, last week was Jimi Hendrix. This week he's talking about the band Cream, which apparently featured Eric Clapton. I'm learning as I go, but I learned a lot from Donnie Despot in that show, Licorice Pizza. So check that one out. We also have Movies That Move Me. That's a show that I do where I talk about the movies that made me want to be a filmmaker. I believe I have like 18 episodes of that right now. Got to actually record some more. And I am trying to get Bobby and Nate and Reggie on that one too, because we all have movies that inspire us. So maybe
hey, look, I'm not a producer, but hey, now when it comes to the movies, I got you. I promise.
That's right. So, hey, we do want to go ahead and talk about our wide receiver who is coming out of basically lockup. I hate to say it like that, but that's basically what's going on. But I was thinking about,
Elijah.
because I am a movie fan, I was thinking about a scene that reminds me of this situation with J-Mo. And I didn't want to go with a scene from Major League when they bring out Charlie Sheen and they're playing Wild Thing, and here he comes out to, pitch the game winner. All right.
He ain't good yet. He ain't that good yet.
I didn't want to go with that. Okay. I didn't want to go with that. But there's a movie called The Dark Knight Rises. Most people.
Wild Thing wasn't that good starting off either.
But I was thinking about The Dark Knight Rises. Now, if you're not familiar with that movie, just briefly, it's a Batman film. Batman has not been seen in like 8 years at the beginning of this movie. Well, when Batman comes out of retirement, they're in the middle of a police chase, and there's a rookie cop and there's a veteran cop. And the rookie cop stops the car, okay? And the veteran cop goes, "Man, you better buckle up because you're about to see something." And that's how I feel about J-Mo, because I drafted J-Mo in my fantasy league at the beginning of the year. And everybody made fun of me saying, "Why are you using a spot for him?" And I feel like that guy from the Batman movie right now. I'm saying, well, hold up. You better buckle up because you got a show tonight, because I think J-Mo is going to come in and he's going to show everybody why he was picked as high as he was. But I want to go to Nate Rucker. And then Nate, toss it to Reggie. Reggie, toss it to Bobby, if you don't mind. But Nate, I want to toss it to you first. J-Mo's finally back. He's finally free. How much do you think he gets used against Carolina?
Well, I can tell you this. He's going to be used more than Marvin Jones. So, So, I mean, with that being said, like they said, they talked about it in practice. They're getting him up to speed. He's full go. They wanted to. We also talked about it in the preseason. Was they knew he was going to be suspended, so they wanted to get him as many reps as possible. They wanted to make sure that he had that playbook understood, so when he came back, he could hit the ground running, literally. So even if it's not, what we want to see, we know that we definitely know there's going to be certain plays that are specifically set for J-Mo. Like we seen Khalif Raymond take that wide receiver reverse. That would have been primarily J-Mo, and most likely would have been a touchdown. Khalif is fast, but again,
J-Mo makes
J-Mo makes fast guys look not so fast.
Not fast.
Yeah, I want to see him and Jameer in the foot race. And I still think he smokes Jameer. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't know
the kid is fluid. So when you're talking about running and you're talking about guys with long limbs and fluid, he's scary. He's scary. Like if you look at the wide receiver, if you look at the reverse he took last year, it was like he was cruising for like 10 yards and then he decided to speed up. And you're like, what the fuck? And you can see it. It was like me. Like, all right, I had enough. I done had enough of y'all slowing me down now with these blocks.
Right.
So it's just going to be, truthfully, what he's going to have to work on is catching the ball with his hands. That's where I think his biggest struggle is going to be catching the ball. Even though they say, hey, Jared Goff does one of the better catchable balls in the league. He's going to have to get used to catching the ball with his hands, away from his body, stuff like that. Hopefully they can scheme him open so that he's not being forced to make tough catches. Get him something easy, get his feet wet, and then take the top off the defense while they shitting themselves. Bobby. My bad, Reggie. Go ahead.
Yeah, Reggie.
To tell you the truth, the person I think they're gonna have to make the adjustment is Golf. That's why, like you've been dealing with Brown, who's intermediate underneath. You got Laporta, intermediate underneath. This dude is a guy that takes the top off the defense. The question is, can you get him the ball? But the other thing is, this is on Ben Johnson as well. All I've been thinking about is putting Gibbs, Ra, and J-Mo in a stacked formation.
That's what I do on Madden.
If I'm a defense, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
You gotta do you just got 3 weapons that you can literally do whatever you want with.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I already know Ben Johnson is licking his chops right now. He like, this is about to go down. But can Golf get him the ball deep? If he gets him the ball deep on a consistent basis, that opens up this entire offense in a way that we've never seen ever. Like, I don't think we've ever had a defense an offense where you can just say, no, I am going to run it down your throat. I'm going to have an effective play action. And I got weapons all over the field. I don't remember us ever having an offense like that.
I mean, closest thing, and it wasn't really close, was when we had Golden Tate, we had Reggie Bush, and we had Calvin. And the only reason why I didn't say Javid is because Javid wasn't around long enough for us to really see what that could have looked like. But again, that's not even anywhere close to the type.
But even then, we still weren't talking about no top 5 offensive line.
Right.
That's the key. Like, I literally, if I want my running backs to have 30 carries in a game and control the tempo of a game, I could do it.
Right.
But now you add somebody like James, when I say, if I want to run a balanced offense, if I want to go pass happy, there's nothing you can do to stop it. Because one, we control the trenches.
Yep.
At this point, look, this, like I said, this is going to get ugly. Like, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy myself. All I want is for J-Mo to get them hands ready. Like Nate was saying, that's his only real issue. If they ramped him up like they said they did, knowing that he was going to be suspended, if he has a grasp of the playbook, the only other issue was his hands.
I say first play of the game against Carolina, air that thing out.
Air that
thing out. Put them away.
Even if it's a pick, I don't care. Just to show.
You just wanted to see the wheels.
You know what it makes me think about? So now I got a movie reference for you. For you. So you seen 42?
Jackie Robinson, right? Yeah.
Remember when Branch Rickey told Jackie, said, you run, you put the fear of God into these pictures.
Yeah.
He said, you gonna get caught. Look, Ty Cobb got caught plenty.
Mm-hmm.
But I want you to worry them to death. That's what I want them to do with J-Mo.
Yeah.
Run them all over the field, put them in so many different motions, man. Him and Gibbs. Put the natural fear of God in him.
It's going to be exciting. That's for sure. Bobby, your thoughts on J-Mo?
Yeah, we kind of tapped on that a little bit last week. Remember I was talking about Tyreek Hill going in full speed and motion. I would like to see J-Mo and Gibbs doing all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see Ben Johnson's creativity, and I think that Jahmyr Gibbs' volcano is going to erupt now because it's like with the way Montgomery is running, that safety gonna have to come down in that box, and we got 2 speed demons, so it's interesting to see how we work that. You know what I mean? Because I can see Montgomery and Gibbs and J-Mo on the field, or something. It got to be something that we haven't seen because the band wasn't together. You know how it is when we all together. It's a way better show. So it looks like our offensive weapon is, they show, but they about to be similar to the greatest show on turf in my mind, you know. So I'm interested to see us, like Reggie said, I'm just wanting to see his connection on the deep ball with Goff, because that's important. Because we know, especially against Carolina, he had a chance to get that over there, and he underthrew him, and it got broke up. So all this stuff, we in our own dome, you know what I mean? We at home, so let's open up the offense a little bit. Let's just show, because like, to be honest, I'm watching the games. It seemed like we just got a lot out there that we not showing, and I wanted to see some of them oil wells opened up, get these gas prices down.
I certainly agree with that. Listen, one of the things that I'm the most excited about with this Lions team is how, even though we were missing J-Mo, because the fellas and I talked about that quite a bit because we knew this was coming, right? We were wondering what type of record will we have by the time J-Mo comes back. And we're not limping into J-Mo's return saying, J-Mo, save us. We're coming into this situation saying, J-Mo, all we need you to do is contribute to what we already have. And I just want to point that out to folks at home. That is a completely different conversation than what we were having last year when we were missing our offensive weapons and we opened up 1-6. Because at that point, we're saying, okay, somebody come in and we either need to fix this or we need to start thinking about the draft next year. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about kind of like those teams do at the trade deadline when they add that extra player that helps them get to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying J-Mo's that guy, okay, because we haven't seen it yet on the field. But what I am saying is it's a similar type of situation where now you're adding another piece that's going to make you so much better, and you're already pretty damn good at 3-1. So that makes me excited. But I do want to go to Nate here for our initial talk here about Carolina. Nate decided before the show that he wanted to go back a year and he wanted to recap the ass whooping that we received by Carolina. So Nate, go ahead.
I'm gonna need some assistance from our numbers guy, Reg. Do you have the needed utensil? Is Reggie there?
He's there, but he has his camera and microphone off.
Oh, Jesus.
Uh-oh.
There, okay, he's back. He's back. It's deep and mysterious. There we go.
All right. So Reg, I need you to do me a favor. Last year's game versus Carolina, can you pull up the total yards Carolina gained and their total rushing yards?
Yeah, I got you.
Begrudgingly.
And the reason I wanted to do this is because, number one, the quarterback that they had is dog shit still. But they set down on the running game. And that's all they still going to have this year. In order for them to beat us, they're just going to have to run the ball. I mean, they got a little. Dang. Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I said I wanted to recap it because I don't think people really know how bad the game was. So go ahead and first of all, let's throw the total yards out.
The total yards was 570.
That hurts.
Almost 600 yards, y'all, running and passing.
So running, it was 320 yards.
Yep.
Sam Darnold threw for 250.
Exactly. So this is why I wanted to revisit this. So now, what did Jared Goff do during that game?
Jared Goff had 355 yards.
I say he had them dumbass gloves on. That's what he did.
And he had 3 touchdowns.
That's exactly what he did.
So here's the kicker. And how many did we lose that game by?
We lost that game by 14.
Mm-hmm.
We also only had 45 yards rushing.
Key. So the reason why I wanted to revisit this is because they say you never know where you're going until you address the pass.
Mm-hmm. I like how you put that.
You know, they fucked us up. Jared, we was the kittens with mittens on that game. Jared Goff still threw 355, but it was like what we normally call meaningless stats because you were doing this when the game was already out of reach. I appreciate the fight that you brung with it. But this is also one of Aaron Glenn's worst coach games as a defensive coordinator. It was atrocious. After
It was
this
the field,
game,
man. It was the field.
They had us out there playing.
Hey, think about it this way.
Screws and everything else.
Hey, after this game, he never ran a zero blitz again. They had two running backs to go over 100 yards and average 5 yards a carry.
Uh-huh.
That's how bad it was.
We helped one of the running backs get a brand new contract that game.
So here's a kicker. I'm looking at what they were saying during their interviews after the game.
Mm-hmm.
It said both running backs said they felt at times the Lions didn't even want to tackle them on Carolina's unforgiving artificial turf. If they ain't, I think you soft. Embodied in a statement. I think you soft.
Right. So
they ain't want no parts.
It was one of those, like Dan Campbell said, the guys went in there, they was on a winning streak, they was feeling themselves, and they needed to get their teeth kicked in, which they did. You all right?
You ever want to say something, but this ain't the time or the place, so I'm gonna leave it alone.
I seen it. That's what I'm looking at your face. Like, do I need to pull up or something?
Dog, this dude every single day, he flies up our residential block doing at least 70 miles per hour. At least 70, man. It blows right through this light. I mean, not a light, but it blows right through this stop sign. I say it's only a matter of time. You're going to kill somebody, and honestly, that stuff was going to end up in my yard. But it just threw me off. I'm sorry. I apologize. But
Throw some nails out there one night. Just sort of. So this is what I would do. I would map out around the time that he normally comes. I would set a timer, and I would throw some nails out there.
Somebody buy Reggie. Somebody buy Reggie, okay? I think about 3 yards might be good enough. Somebody buy Reggie about 3 yards of that Carolina artificial turf to put out there. That
will tear the wheels off of that boy.
Yeah, but let's get back. But like I say, so we just need to we see where we lost the game at. And truthfully, that game was a learning. That was all for learning purposes because it got these guys back where they needed to be. And it let them know, hey, any given Sunday, because we were picked as favorites in that game as well. Any given Sunday. So if you don't bring your focus, if you don't come locked in, regardless of your opponent, you gonna get railroaded, which we did, and we got a guy another contract like we did Matt Flynn when he came and threw out fucking 5 touchdowns against us, and he became a multi-millionaire from one game.
Right.
We did the same thing with Deontay Foreman. Deontay Foreman, the bald head, redhead stepchild running back of the league. So we
go from
just
165-yard rushing game to sit behind 2 running backs. He ain't never gonna pass.
So that was my pass. Now y'all can go with the present.
So Carolina, 1 p.m. I believe this game's at Ford Field, isn't it, fellas?
Yep.
Right,
In
1
the dome.
p.m. Ford Field. It's going to be nice and temperature controlled. It's going to be nice and soft artificial turf.
Wi-Fi work good.
Wi-Fi works good. I don't know how that's going to come
Hey, bring them blue ski masks. Seattle just got lucky. We still rocking them masks.
Yeah. So
Goon Squad.
that's right.
Goon
So
Squad.
with that being said, let's start off with Bobby Bless. Bobby, you haven't talked in a little bit here on the podcast, so I want to get you some action here. So Carolina comes to Detroit. What are your thoughts on this game? What are you looking for?
Shoot, just the more domination of the pass rush. I was watching Minnesota against the Vikings. Carolina against the Vikings last week, and I seen them getting at Bryce Young an awful lot. I don't see why we can't get a part of that. I want, they not a team. I swear, it's crazy. It's almost like the same shit from last year, Groundhog Day. It's almost like we don't believe.
You want us to make negatives.
Elijah's such a freak, man.
Yeah, I seen that bullshit on there.
He was trying to
Elijah's
start,
such
but
a
he was
freak, man.
he was
Hey, all I
trying
heard
to
was-
start, but all we got was nut shot. Like that's all we got. Anyway, Bobby, go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we just want the dudes to damn, Reverend. We just don't want to look over these guys like, and they still in the same position to look over them. And I'm more just concerned of just making sure we just like Aleem McNeil said in one of the reels I made this week, just keep the foot on the defense neck. I mean on the other team neck. We gotta we almost where we want to be, but we playing a couple teams that we should be able to dominate, man. And let's just put it in fruition, It's time to show. This ain't no more we on the way. We here. You know what I mean? Let's see what we gonna get. Let's see what a good football team does, and a good football team put Carolina away, similar to how we did Green Bay. So that's what I want to see, to be honest.
So for me, I would say that when you're a team like we are, and you're starting to climb that ladder, right? Starting to win games and all that, you're starting to get that hype. One of the things we're going to have to get used to is people consistently moving the goalpost on us. Because at the beginning of the season, it was beat Kansas City, we know you're for real. We did that. Then it was, well, there's an asterisk next to it. Then we went and obviously we lost to Seattle. We beat Atlanta. We go to Green Bay. Everybody says, well, Green Bay's kind of owned y'all for a very long time. Beat them and then we'll know you're for real. I feel like, and I have not actually listened to any Detroit media this week, so I have not done my usual research I do for the show. But I feel like there are probably announcers out there in Detroit and certainly other places as well who are saying this 0-4 Carolina Panthers team is a team that the same old Lions would lose to. They'd figure out a way to give Carolina their first win. We can't do that. So this is another one of those games. Again, they're going to keep moving the goalposts until we get to the Super Bowl. And then they're going to say, well, if you win the Super Bowl, now you're for real. Okay.
Right.
Because that's what type of situation we've backed ourselves into with 30 years of not getting it done. Okay. So people are going to continue to move those goalposts. This is a goalpost type game right here. They're 0-4. They need to be 0-5 when the clock hits 0. That's where I'm at with it. I don't care how we do it. I just care that we do not give this team their first win of the season, and we don't make Bryce Young look like his, I've arrived moment in the NFL. Okay, don't let him do that to us. That's where I'm at with it. I do have a score prediction, and this is from a few weeks ago. I'm going to break out that pink book once again. So let's see what I said a few weeks ago for score as I'm looking here. And I think, okay, so for the Panthers, I actually said for the Panthers that was going to be a close game, and I said 28-24 is what I said. So I'm going to stick with that score, although I hope I'm dead wrong. Okay, I hope we have at least 2 touchdowns on them. But with that being said, let me toss it over to Reggie. Reggie, your thoughts on this Carolina game, and give me a score prediction. And Bobby, start thinking about your score prediction because I'm going to come back to you after Reggie goes.
I'm about to make another movie reference.
Okay.
Remember the Titans.
Yeah, they don't gain another yard.
He said, when he told Coach, run it up, Hearn, leave no doubt. 37-10. That's what I got. I want them to beat the brakes off them boys.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Montgomery with another 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say Gibbs gets a receiving touchdown. Amon-Ra gets a receiving touchdown. And J-Mo has 75 yards receiving, 5 catches.
Okay.
Doesn't get his touchdown. He gets tackled like within the 5 on some nastiness.
All right. Bobby, score prediction, my friend.
24-3. Like the first half of last week, just all game. You know what I mean? We gotta win, man. I want a hat, and I want it on Sunday. I'm going on Sunday, so they better make it happen, brother. No, but joke aside, we starting to live up to the hype. That's very rare in the NFL. So let's continue to deserve the hype. That's more with it. 24-3. I'm interested in start hearing that Dan Campbell for Coach of the Year conversation spike up too. So
that would be nice. That would be nice, Nate and Bobby. While Nate's going, I'll have you go find your hat for this week. Okay, that way we can show that off after Nate goes.
Man, I ain't about to go in there. Yeah, I did. I ain't about to get up and go in there and look for them damn hats. They in there. It's in there.
But you had a hat this week, though, right?
Yeah, I got it this week. I got a hat this week. Sure did, but I don't feel like going to get it, Elijah.
All right. Well, hey, Nate.
There's so many damn hats in there. I have to look, and I didn't even prep to get. Man, I'd be looking for it a long time.
Well, I just thought about it, and I went. We didn't show off his hat, and I know people are going to be disappointed, but that's okay.
All right. Well, give me a second. I'll go find him.
All right, Nate. Now that I've guilt-tripped Bobby into going and looking
the hat I brought. The hat I brought.
Thoughts on this Carolina game in the present, because you gave us the past. So present, what do you think's going to happen, and score prediction?
35-17. I think
beat the brakes off.
I think we handle them easy. We may get a blown coverage here or there where we give up a bomb or a long touchdown of 30+ yards, but I think we handle them. I think we still handle them easy. We end up with another victory formation and ride into the sunset. Bryce Young will start his career 0-5. We go to 4-1 and leading the division. Hey, look, moving up the ESPN power rankings to number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm certainly down with that idea. Warhammer, by the way, is saying 31-6 Lions. So Warhammer's all about that Kool-Aid, apparently. But hey, I would love that score, and that very well might happen. I just know I'm just going by what I said like 4 weeks ago, and I figured don't change my predictions from 4 weeks ago. Because way we got receipts.
I mean, we were well on our way to throwing the Packers a beat like that too.
Yeah,
and they're a much better team than North Carolina.
The only thing that concerns me with Carolina, and again, this is that PTLD that we always talk about on this show. The only thing that concerns me about Carolina is we overlook them. But I don't think that happens because of how they beat us last year. And I feel like that coaching staff is not going to allow that to happen.
Dan ain't letting that happen.
You got the same players. These guys remember they remember what happened. They remember what that loss cost them.
Is Sam Darnold the backup quarterback?
Is what kept them out the playoffs.
Where's Sam Darnold at?
Darnold is with the 49ers. He's a
49ers doing nothing. He's not even on clipboard duty.
Backup quarterback for Carolina is Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I would say he's not even on clipboard duty.
I do have one thing to say that's not Lions related, then we'll toss it over to Bobby. I was noticing with the Bengals that their offensive line has finally caught up to them. What I mean by that is
not fixing your line, you stupid bastards.
A few years ago, when they drafted Joe Burrow and they went out and they got Jamar Chase and everything, they were kind of trying a new formula in the NFL of let's get the skill position players and we're going to wait on getting the offensive line. And it looked like they were the smartest person in the room there. The year that the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, then last year they got to the playoffs. It's like, okay, they can go cheap on the offensive line and survive because of all of that skill position talent. But just like everything else, it does catch up with you eventually. And it seems like early on this season, it's caught up to them in a big way. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that make a lot out of the comment from Jamar Chase about I'm always open. They shouldn't, because Joe Burrow and him have a great relationship. And I don't think he's saying anything about Joe. I think what he's saying is y'all need to protect my guy so he can find me when I'm wide open.
Exactly.
I promise you.
You can't throw the ball from your back.
Yeah, I promise you though, all those media people are gonna be like, maybe they're having a feud. They're not having a feud. He's just saying protect my guy. But let's send it over to Bobby here. Bobby, you got a new hat. I'm excited to see it.
Hell yeah, brother. Shoot.
It's still in the bag too.
Yeah, man, I got hats from last year. I ain't even wore yet, dude. This is crazy. Yeah, man, because I always wear blue and gray. So the hat that ain't blue and gray, I be
nice.
Sitting around. Yeah, I don't know what color is this. I brought it because it was different. It's a khaki. So This is a Detroit Lions 47 NFL khaki MVP hat. So I don't know.
Very nice.
Yeah. I went on Monday to buy. Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. So I went on Friday to got this. So yeah, and I couldn't find out I had to pay my new year for lids. I had to pay $10 for my pass. I forgot about that too. So I had to throw another $10 on top of this. But hopefully I'll be getting more. I've seen a couple more that I want too, man. It's just that the fact that I never seen this hat and now that I'm like really staring at it, it is the color of some khakis. These are like the hardball lion hat. So yeah, that's it. How much does this cost? It was buy one, get the other one half off. But I didn't buy the other one for half off because I didn't want to cheat the system. I said, no, sir, just give me the one hat and don't torture me with the deal, man. Because I don't want to cheat the system. So I only end up getting one, but I could have easily got two, and everything in my power stopped me from getting two. But I'll probably wear this eventually down the line somewhere. I don't know. Eventually, hopefully this year.
Very nice.
I don't know though.
I do have to apologize to one of our YouTube commenters. I was reading his name wrong. I was saying it was War Dan Hammer. It's actually War the Four Horsemen. So my apologies on that. But hey, we did not do something very important. We got to do one more thing, then we get to closing remarks, and we're all out of here.
Superboy.
I got to know, Nate Rucker, who's your stupid boy of the week?
That damn Daniel Jones, man.
I'm single.
Actually, I'm not even gonna blame Daniel Jones. His goddamn offensive coordinator need to be fired.
So you're not even going from our game. You're going from somewhere else.
Man, it was just that bad. Do you realize this boy was sacked 11 times?
Ooh.
He was sacked 11 times.
And they were number 31 in sacks before that game. They moved all the way up to 11.
Listen, he was hit a total of 19 times.
Did y'all see?
Listen, that's not including his rushing. They're talking about when he's dropping back to pass. He was hit 19 times. Like, I can't even put that all on Daniel Jones. If that was me, I would have threw that football at the scoreboard and walked to the fucking locker room and said, all y'all kiss my ass. Like, it was like, and what was that? On the longest yard, when Adam Sandler finally got back in the game, and he was like, fine, I'll do it
myself. Yeah. Did you guys see that?
It was one play. It looked like a whole jailbreak. It was 4 linemen hit him at one time.
Did y'all see the league actually put out something on that? Adam Schefter was commenting about it today. I got it right here. I got it right here in front of me. There's a new NFL rule because of how much Daniel Jones got hit. It says NFL announces opposing teams must count to 7 Mississippi before rushing
you on some bullshit.
for the remainder of the season. Okay,
All right, you
7
on some
Mississippi.
bullshit.
All right, 7 Mississippi. Better be counting that at home. Anyway,
But you know, I've
Go
got one thing. It's not Lions related.
okay.
Okay, so what do you guys think about this Philadelphia Eagle push formation?
The brotherly,
Man, they
the
gotta stop
brotherly
it.
shove.
Yeah. They gotta stop it. Yeah, they ain't nobody hit them yet. That's all. Somebody gotta hit them. So that's all it is, man. I don't think it's illegal. I swear I don't, because I seen other teams try to do it and don't do it. Don't get the job done. So it's some. It ain't like an unstoppable play. It's just that the way Jalen Hurts and them do it, you got a quarterback that's really ready to run at any damn time. And he fucking how much he lift on with his legs over? He squat over like 800 or something like that.
I don't know.
Something
He's flying a
stupid
lot,
like-
so.
Yeah, I think it's not the play. It's the Eagles personnel that makes that successful. I swear, because other teams try. The Chargers tried it when they went on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
The Chargers, and then that shit did not work. So it ain't them. It ain't the play. It's the Eagle personnel. That's just me personally.
So I think it ain't illegal now, but it will be next season.
They had a
That's
chance to
what
make
I'm
it
at.
illegal.
It will be
They had
illegal
it. They,
next season. It's
they
gonna be
did it.
like-
They had it on the board last year, though. They had it on the board last year to get removed this year too. So I mean, they voted not to do it. So what?
Yeah,
what's
but
gonna
you
be
know
so
the
different
difference
now?
was a lot of teams didn't oppose it.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept when you have a punt, a field goal or whatever. Like they tell you, hey, you cannot just jump over the center.
Yeah.
You're like this. That's the rule.
Only one team can do it successfully. That's
But-
my problem with it.
and
But what I'm saying is, if you allow it, then it has to be allowed for you. In order for you to stop that, it's just going to be the same way you need to block a punt. The same way you need to block a field goal. That means you're going to have to allow launching, because that means if these guys, only thing these guys are doing, truly to stop it, is pushing forward, a guy's going to have to launch himself over the line.
like Troy Polamalu.
Exactly. And remember, they outlawed. There is no more of that. There is no
It's
more of that.
only one team doing it successfully.
I will
How you gonna
say,
change the rule for one team?
I will
That
say,
sound like that's no.
I will
Listen,
say, I
they
agree
did it
with
for us.
Bobby. I agree with Bobby that if you don't want it, you should stop it. It's like the whole Cam Newton thing back when he was successful. He said, "If you
No,
don't
you're
want
not
that
agreeing
celebration-"
with Bobby. You don't agree with Bobby. No.
I do though. I do.
No, you
I can
don't.
agree with
No,
you
you
and
don't.
still
No.
believe and still
Hell
believe
no.
they're gonna outlaw it next year.
Y'all making it seem like Shaq with the zone defense or something. That shit ain't that unstoppable.
No, but what
They
I'm saying
changed the whole-
is the reason when you're looking at the success rate of this play that they run,
By
truthfully,
who? By who though? The success rate of the Eagles? Because they're
Yeah.
the only one that's successful at it.
listen, but when
That's it.
Bobby, you're talking about a 90% success rate. But the
For one
argument,
team,
but the argument has still been made that listen, if y'all not gonna tell them that this shit is because the only thing y'all doing is pushing the quarterback forward. That's what makes it illegal. You're not
why
supposed to
everybody
be allowed.
can't do it, Nate? Why everybody
But
can't
listen, I get that. But if I can't push a guy who's trying to get over the line, this is why they stopped. This is what Craig Walker, we benefited from Dum Dum trying to jump over the line. You won't, guess what? If that's illegal, but these motherfuckers can get behind their quarterback and push the quarterback forward, which it was illegal. They had stopped it, but nobody else has enforced it since. That's why I say by next year, I think it's gonna change.
It's
For
going
one
to
team.
be like the Raiders and the Fumblerooski. It's going to go the way of the dodo bird next season.
But that happened in a playoff
No.
game.
You know what? That became the Tuck rule. That became the
It
Tuck
is.
rule.
Yeah.
That became the Tuck rule It's the same way with, when people make enough fuss about it, it'll change. Like with the Calvin completing the catch shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? When it's that, they're going to be like, dude, come on now.
And the team that's going to throw the biggest fuss about it, and this is why I do agree with Bobby, even though Bobby says I don't agree with him. But I do agree with Bobby because the team that's going to complain the most is going to be the Dallas Cowboys when they're sitting their ass at home because they lost to a brotherly shove or a tush push, as they like to say.
You know the funny thing about that? The funny thing about that is like, dog, if it's such an issue, do it yourself. Find your own version of it.
They can't. They do it, and it don't work.
No, because you don't have the number one offensive line. When you have, the only team that can feasibly do it
is us.
Truthfully, nobody.
No, hell
nobody.
no.
We don't got the QB. No, we ain't got the QB for it.
Right, you see what I'm saying? Like you have the line, you can have the offensive line, but you don't have the quarterback for it. So the only team that could possibly do it is Baltimore.
You know what I would do? But you know what I would do? I would do a Wildcat version of it.
Mm-hmm. That Wildcat shit don't work.
No, not Wildcat. Not Wildcat where I gotta, not you catching in the shotgun formation. I'm talking about
that Wildcat gave Ronnie Brown CTE.
I had him on my fantasy team that game though. He had 100 yards receiving, 100 yards rushing.
I'm saying instead of you putting my QB there, I'll put my running back there and do the same thing.
So you got the brotherly shove.
If I got the top 5 on the offensive line.
So you have the brotherly shove out there in Philadelphia. We about to have the Motown Groove in Detroit. Just Jared.
It sounds like somebody about to get made love to.
Yeah, that don't sound like football, Elijah.
It doesn't. It doesn't. That's something Andy Hooker might do. Anyway, so hey, let's go to closing remarks here. I got a feeling Bobby's going to be talking about that play like all day tomorrow at work.
But one team, y'all want to change the whole rule for one team.
I don't want to change it. I'm saying it's going to happen, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not saying I want to change it either.
It doesn't bother.
But it was on the board. They had a chance to change it this year, and they did not.
Right.
But they didn't do it as much last year. Listen, they didn't do it as much last year as they do this year. They do that shit like 5 times a game.
So the rule is geared generally to stop the damn Philadelphia Eagles, basically, right?
Right.
Because ain't nobody else doing the shit though.
Right.
Correctly or successfully.
Hey, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's how Jerry Jones rolls.
Man, that ain't gonna work.
I promise you. When the Dallas Cowboys are sitting at home this postseason because they lost on a shove, it's going to be hell to pay.
That shit's going to get changed. Guess what? It's like the same reason they didn't call that dumbass right tackle who kept lining up fucking 4 yards behind the fucking line of scrimmage. He don't do that shit no more.
They changed that in weeks. They changed that in weeks. They had months to change this thing.
No. They changed that shit the very next week.
Yeah,
I know. This been going on for a year. They've been okay with this for a year.
Man, so I got to tell you, I always love these conversations because they lead me to say the following to you at home. If by chance you happen to go to a big box store in Toledo, do not mention to the fella in the electronics section the brotherly shove, because you might get.
Yeah, that's soft to me, man. Don't change the rules. Stop that shit. Because there's only one team doing it.
Shut it down. That's right. Listen, I agree. Even though you don't think I agree, I agree. I promise you.
Man, barely.
We're gonna go.
He said barely.
Closing remarks here, okay? Closing remarks. We're gonna start off with. My hair's all fucked up. Anyway, we're gonna go with Bobby Bless. Bobby,
I love you guys.
Brotherly shove. What do you got for us?
I love you. I love you guys. Go Lions. I love you because it be in some of the conversations we be having, boys, show be working my damn nerves. But I love you though. I love all you guys.
We love you back. We love you back. That's for sure.
Y'all silly.
Nate Rucker, closing remarks, my friend.
Fuck that shove. Sorry, no.
That's so damn stupid.
Oh,
Go Lions, man. Hey, look, I'm happy to be back. I'm glad I'm over that COVID bullshit. So,
Yeah.
you know, hey, I'm just happy to be back, man. Thank you for all the comments. I seen Shay be in here. So, you know, family says hey to you too. Four Horsemen. Thank you for all your comments, man. So again, man, everybody participation. I love it. Thank you. Hey, y'all see what the shirt is? You gotta get one. I gotta do it like this because if Elijah makes one more fucking stripper comment.
but earlier, all we were getting was just POV crotch shot. And I was like, I know what he's
Oh,
trying to
damn.
do, but that's not what's happening right now. And me and
I
Reggie
mean,
were
damn.
dying over here.
Yeah. All right, you already know. All you ladies, subscribe to Nate Rucker's OnlyFans
Motown
page.
Groove.
Nasty Nate. No, Nasty Nate at OnlyFans.com. And I'm his manager. I'm his manager. I get 10%.
That sound like a pimp.
Hey,
That sound like
look,
pimping.
hey, what the little Instagram boy say? Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Got Nasty Nate.
Hey, remember all other guys?
Nasty Nate.
Remember all other guys, Mark Wahlberg, like, you were a pimp. You were a pimp. You were a pimp.
That's right.
Yep. You were a pimp. No,
got-
was it? Are you listening to the story?
You had a stable of hoes. Yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
Don't cry.
that's right. Pencil cry. Pencil cry. But you got Nasty Nate, that lower body strength doing the Motown Groove. Coming to you. You're a city near you. That's right.
Lots
Hey,
of wiggle.
Well,
Nasty
sounds
Nate
like
and
I got
Gator.
a new management company, Elijah Winfrey Management Company.
that's
Thanks
right.
a lot.
Nasty Nate and
No
Gator.
problem. I handle all autographs. Anyway, we do got to get going. So, Reggie, your closing remarks, my friend.
I already gave my closing remarks. I'm trying to get this money. OnlyFans.com.
Oh man.
Hey,
No,
Dirty,
you know you're there because you'll see the On the Hunt logo.
Y'all dirty.
Damn.
On the Hunt logo. Nasty Nate.
Oh my
Y'all
god.
dirty, man. Y'all dirty. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all dirty.
Oh man. So for my closing remarks, I do want to ask Bobby because Bobby was trying to say something just a second ago. Who were you trying to say, Bobby?
49ers versus the Cowboys this week, huh?
49ers don't beat.
Oh, they about to beat the brakes off the Cowboys.
That's gonna be good.
So for my closing remarks, I just want to thank the fellows once again. 49 episodes in, absolutely crazy that we've made it to 49 episodes.
Almost finna hit 50.
Having this much fun should be illegal. Don't let the Cowboys vote on it. Anyway, so with all that being said, for Reggie Funches, for Nate Rucker, for the #1 Lions fan,
Nasty Nate.
Mr. Bobby Bless, and for all of Bobby Bless's desk ornaments that he has every single week.
Not Patricia.
We are going to bid you farewell for this episode. Hey, be good to yourself, be good to others in that order. We'll see you soon after another Lions victory.
Hey, Nate.